yes, who is your main QB riser of the week?
Gonna have to get around my man for this one, Joey Burrow. For me, he's a QB1 going forward. Low-end QB1, but he's in the top 12. He's in the top 12.
Okay,
He's
12,
got
12. Cool.
Yeah, he's got unreal weapons, and he just looks the goods. Like the Bengals' offense actually looks pretty decent. I know they beat it was against the Browns, but he can rush. He scored 3 rushing touchdowns. He can pass. So yeah, he's definitely up the rankings.
Yeah, he is 100% looking like a spicy contender, and anyone who doesn't mind a rushing TD like Joey is always instantly spicy. Yeah. And like I know it's not dynasty here, but he does have like a lot of upside. Should improve week after week, like most rookies do. So yeah, pretty spicy prospect. Should be firing for the playoffs. My riser, I've actually gone my own player as well. This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I actually have Drew Brees as a riser of the week. Coming into this, he just had a pretty crap year, really, in fantasy terms. I was so high on him in the preseason because I adjusted his season last year for injuries because, he had a couple games where he had played 10% of the match or something. So I adjusted for those and I ended up having him as the second highest average of all of last year. And he'd been letting me down so far, but bounced back with a 23.68 against a decent Panthers defense. That was without Thomas and Sanders. Callaway kind of took the number one receiver position and they just played as if it was Thomas. He showed he still got it. He's not relying on those guys. And he was probably on track for 30, but then the game script kind of killed him. They just ran the ball for the whole second half. A rushing TD did help him, but realistically, if you're in that kind of position on the field, he probably normally would have had a passing TD. That's only a loss of 2 points. So you don't have to be scared about that boosting his score a lot. But yeah, I'm really happy with Drew Brees. And as an owner of Ryan Fitzpatrick, who got benched for Tua, and Brees was my QB 2/3, wherever I had Fitzy above Brees. But yeah, pretty glad that he's kind of getting back to his reliable QB level. And I think I'm going to be pretty happy with him sitting in the super flex position for the rest of my season. So yeah, Brees is my riser of the week. Anyone else you want to mention in the risers, mate?
Yep. Tom Brady, pretty obvious one here, but the whole Buccaneers offense just looks unreal, and he's adding Antonio Brown in week 9, I believe. So hard to see him not being a top 6, top 8 quarterback going forward from here.
Yeah, we sometimes get caught in the trap in our league. To those listening for the first time, we have a pretty fairly rookie league. There's a lot of us who have only played 2 or 3 years. Some people this is their first season. But yeah, we have about 2 or 3 guys who are basically inactive on the game, and Brady is with one of those owners. So it's kind of sometimes easy to overlook those guys because we know we can't get them. But yeah, Brady's absolutely balling out. I was quite low on him in the preseason because I just didn't like the uncertainty around him. But to those people who gambled on him, he has definitely rewarded them. And yeah, certified QB1 at the moment and doesn't look like slowing down anytime soon. And they've added Antonio Brown, which in theory should only improve his chances of being an elite fantasy QB this season. Now into the falls of the week. I'm sorry, Pilch, but I've actually gone your man, Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I thought about going him, but yeah, go on.
He got I can't lie, this was a bit of a rush job, so I kind of just picked the first bloke I saw with a bad score, but he got 17.5 against a pretty vulnerable Lions, and his receiving core was at full strength. He's had a few poor scores, but you could kind of put that down to some injuries in the offense, but their O-line sucks anyway, but their receiving core in those games were down. The troops were down, but yeah, this match they were all back, and he's whipped out 17.5, which is pretty disappointing. Were you disappointed as an owner?
Yeah, look, I would have been hoping for more against the Lions. Unfortunately, your man Todd Gurley stole a couple touchdowns off him, which he's been doing quite often this season. But yeah, I don't think he played that badly, but he's probably going to drop a couple places in my rankings as well.
Yeah. And next up, he's got the Panthers, who have shown to actually be a fairly decent defense, except against the run.
Yeah, I'm worried about that one.
And Denver after that. So, and I think he might actually have the bye after that. So not the greatest run of fixtures for Matty Ryan coming off. Well, I think he had one good score in there, but he's had quite a few bad scores over the last month. So worrying times, but he's not being traded anywhere. There were rumors about Ryan and Julio both leaving, but the Falcons came out and said they're not moving them this season, maybe in the off season. Same podcast I was talking about earlier with Cam Newton, we're also toying with the idea of Matt Ryan to the Bears, but yeah, pretty sure they're both staying put in Atlanta. Sadly, they have the short week this week against the Panthers, which is never really ideal for a fantasy player or a fantasy owner. But yeah, here's my fall. I can't lie, he's probably not falling down my rankings that much. So, but yeah, who are your falls?
Same match, Matt Stafford of Detroit Lions. I think he scored 18 points, but to be honest, he's been a pretty heavy letdown all season. Like, he's only averaging 17 points per game, which is in the bottom half of quarterbacks in the league. And same argument with Ryan against a shocking Atlanta defense. You probably would have hoped he'd score a bit more. He's not playing badly like in real life, but just isn't really producing the fantasy numbers. So I don't think we can look at him as a top 12 man at this stage.
Yeah. Carry-on Johnson, that is, got injured last year, and I think they basically just turned to throw always. But this year they definitely seem to be running first, which has not helped Stafford's case,
especially
as a fantasy
on the goal
QB. Line. Yeah, 100%. And look, if Gurley didn't stuff that up on the weekend, if he didn't fall over the end zone, take that last drive away from him, and he's just got double digits because he went like 80 yards on that drive with the passing TD. That's, just like around 7 points. So yeah, pretty horrible show from Stafford. I'm pretty lucky. I think I traded for him about a month ago because he had a really, really easy run of fixtures, and I don't think he's cracked 20 once in the run of fixtures. So very glad the owner of Stafford rejected that one. But yeah, really disappointing. Really disappointing from Stafford all season, to be honest. I was quite high on him in the preseason.
Yeah, same here.
Anyone else you want to mention?
No, already mentioned Newton. That's it.
All right, perfect. Now the guys on the trade block, the QBs, it's a little bit less relevant. No one's really going to trade for a QB, but Jameis, would you pick up Jameis if he went to somewhere with a bad QB, would you go for him?
In fantasy?
Yeah.
All right, give me a team.
The Jets.
No.
The Giants.
Nah.
The Bears.
They're all disgusting, but out of those three, probably the Bears would be the most favourable.
Right. Yeah, realistically, I don't think Jets or Giants are going to be trading mid-season. It's more the teams up there.
I don't think Danny Dimes, not Darnold as well, but especially Danny Dimes. I don't think they're bad quarterbacks. They're just in shocking offenses that just cap their ceilings.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think Jameis would be doing any better.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And then the other guys, I don't really want to get into the QBs. This section's more relevant for the other posies, but Haskins, Darnold, and Tyrod Taylor are all on the trade block. So interesting to see where they go.
It's a miracle! Oh, yeah! What about that one? Unbelievable! Balotelli, Aguero! Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle.